Hey everyone, welcome back to the show, the Challenger Series. It's time for the second game now between Team 8 and Team LawPro. After a convincing 28-minute game, LawPro leads now 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, a lot of that was off of the team fighting early, then LawPro won. A lot of that is thanks to Heaven Time.
Yeah, it is. Heaven Time was massive. 9-1 and 8 on Jarvan. All that was off the table was like there was a Lee Sin ban, and Elise got picked up, and he was like, going Jarvan, I'm going to crush some fools, and he really did.
Yeah, and they synergized that with Laud's Ziggs. He went 8-1 and 7 on that champion. They had the Wombo combo every time I saw the Cataclysm come down. It was Mega Infernal Bomb right on top of it, Tidal Wave coming through, and then I think at the very last fight, it's like, oh, let's throw a cask in for good measure.
Yeah, and it's just so good because when that team gets ahead, you just pick your fight and no one can deal with you. When Jarvan's got levels, when Jarvan, even just like the Negatron, or the Null Magic Battle, he's going towards Hexdrinker with a Giant's Belt. Like, Syndra can't one-shot that champion anymore. And you saw still getting removed in the what else they think they can get.
Yeah, I guess they just don't want him on any type of playmaking top laner here.
Yeah.
LawPro will most likely have to change a ban over to Gragas here, because they will first pick it on Team 8's side, but they ban Kassadin on Team 8's side because they don't want to first pick that. So out the Yasuo means the Yasuo Gragas composition on Team 8, they could only ban one of them, and that's when they go.
Okay, so the Gragas here for Cali Trolls. One change so far. Is that all you need on Team 8 here? Bit of a bigger playmaker, arguably a better lane bully as well. A lot of sustain, a lot of wave clear. Does that set up Cali Trolls to watch the map better and make better calls here?
It also
something.
Gives them a lot more defensive options too.
Yeah, true.
Because before they were kind of just scrounging around, their base just collapsed under the wave clear of Gragas and Ziggs. I don't know if they might even do a Gragas Ziggs themselves. We'll have to see.
Ooh, yeah, if they can get this one through in time. Of course, the Tristana ban from last time doesn't come out. That was a Lulu ban instead. LawPro going to immediately grab the Yordle combo there. Tristana is there for Patoy. The Ziggs already picked up for Lot.
So they didn't want the Ziggs falling into the hands of Team 8, so you blind pick your mid laner. It is a pretty safe mid laner there to have.
True.
And they also picked the Tristana. I'm surprised they didn't hide it more in terms of like who's going to go mid, because they have done the 80 carry mid before.
That's true.
But of course, they have a strategy coming into this. I would put it past LawPro to be like, we just want these high priority picks for ourselves.
Exactly.
We'll be safe.
It's because they're contested. I think against many other teams, ones who don't value Ziggs, you can go for that one, but I think you can't do that here in this series and against this team. So LawPro making good choices so far. Plenty of damage in the lineup. I have the sneaking suspicion Heaven Time might just go back to Jarvan because it worked so well last time. Team 8 to make their choices. They have free reign over AD carries. They have free reign over supports. Junglers as well. Are they going to squander their picks and leave more contested ones open, or do they grab things as soon as possible? They're going full counter pick here. This is Kog'Maw and Syndra being picked up. They are only counter picking.
Wow, they're really going to go with those picks. I'm actually very surprised at that. The fact that they picked their mid laner when there's junglers on the table, you can starve the pool a tiny bit, or at least take one of them out that you don't want him on.
Yeah.
Because the Jarvan alongside the Ziggs combo was just so devastating last game. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it here again on Heaven Time.
Sure, and why the heck not? It's going to get grabbed, and the Braum now coming through for a low. So Team 8 thinking they can maybe bat out the Braum, they can maybe counterpick the Jarvan here as well. LawPro still not showing their top laner here, and you don't have to. There's the lock-in. So LawPro got first dibs on 4 roles this game.
Oh, I am really...
Team 8 only got a top lane.
I'm really confused because Team 8, like ideally that 2-3 spot for them, you could have gone Jarvan Orianna.
Yeah.
Get Slushy what he's very comfortable on the Orianna. go with something to deliver the ball too. Like there's a lot of possibilities that they could have just had with those. You don't have to pick your AD carry. You don't have to pick your mid laner because those were the first 2 picks for Team LawPro. They're going full counter pick, like you said.
Yeah.
As blue team.
You know, it could always be Syndra support.
Oh, well, it could be Syndra support, but
it's unlikely.
I don't think that's what's going to happen.
No. Alistar I do like, though. So Morgana, good counter pick, but I also think the new Alistar after the buffs is really good there as well. Because as Braum, what do you really engage on other than a cow who knocks you right back out? So I think that could be very successful. You've got more engage and a big front line in the support role. Porpoisepop's going to be on the Evelyn here, changing up his jungle pick. But it is going to be Hans's Mundo after it all.
Yeah, and I talked with somebody at the interview today. Pobolta, there we go. And I was asking him about Mundo. I'm like, yeah, Mundo into double AP. Is that just because everybody's so bursty as an AP? You just wait around for 30 minutes, then Mundo just can't be killed? And he's like, yep. That was his only, all he said was yep.
Just yep.
Yep.
One word answer, 3 letters, 1 syllable.
Or it could be 4 letters if it's yep.
Okay.
Y-E-A-P.
Ah, I've never spelled it that way in my life. I've only spelled it Y-E-P, but you know what? Hashtag Y-E-P, Y-E-A-P, we'll get the vote at the bottom. Not going to happen. Mundo does come through here for Hanser, and he did have a couple of very good Dr. Mundo games. He's up against a Gragas, up against double AP, right? Gets to be a tanky guy, sustain through it. And I've really yet to see Mundo get easily killed in lane. So
yeah, especially by a Gragas. We'll have to keep eyes on that. And Cali Trolls, he loves to kill you in lane. But if you're on one of those very passive champions or a champion that's going to at least do very well by himself, it's going to be very difficult. So and very frustrating too, because Cali Trolls, they lost that first game pretty convincingly.
Yeah.
They have to kind of just reset themselves, you know, unplug the power, plug it back in.
Yep.
Good to go.
So the thing is, I want to think about what teammate can do, and I think there's actually a couple of like little tricks as well as big things they can do. Number one is think about the Mundo, because we saw this with Cloud9 all last split and the year before as well. You get a top lane that's going to win early game, which actually in Mundo vs. Gragas, Gragas will win that a little bit. Before Mundo hits 6, you show up with the jungler, you dive that guy, and you kill him before he can ult. And Mundo will die. And you'll get the kill, and you've got a lead in that lane, and you can generally keep Mundo down, and then you can one-shot him in every team fight. And that is a play that teammate can make. Sneak Porpoisepops in, get a lead in that lane, use TP advantage, use a top lane advantage. That's one thing they can do.
Oh, Cali Trolls go straight into the bush with Body Slam.
Spot some people, gets slowed down by the Fever. There's, of course, not a knockup just yet, but some damage still coming through. Porpoisepops on a bit of a chase. Gonna be the Pulverize and low. Forced to flash away. The fight continues, though. Cali Trolls low on health, and here comes Tristana as well.
Oh,
the slow onto Cali Trolls has to jump away. He's not quite gonna go down, but Porpoisepops, one hit for being stunned, is stunned. The damage still coming through. One hit from dead. In comes Hanser, and actually a Ziggs bomb. Claims the Gragas as well. 2 kills before 1 minute for LawPro.
They get 2 for themselves and 2 flashes at the same time and more summoner spells. This is disaster already out the gate for teammate. Look at that. He goes straight in and he ends up getting tagged with the Braum. And now he has to flash out, and then it just trails off to the side. Low flashes to the right, and there's just so much blown here that's not going to be up for 5 minutes. They trail off. Cali Trolls, he gets hit in between them with the Braum Q. Low back on the team, coming up big in the first 2 minutes. First minute for his team, and the auto attack Ziggs passive.
The thing is, Gragas walked back into that fight for Cali Trolls. That cooldown is pretty long on Body Slam. And he had basically no health. I'm surprised he walked back in.
God.
Teammate.
LawPro come back with all pink wards. They're just all pink wards and consumables.
Well, it's plenty of vision for these guys, and they're going to have to back right on out of this one. Cali Trolls really wants his pink ward, and he's got backup. So they're trying to contest this jungle.
He doesn't have flash, and they know this.
And there's some cleavers there. Flag toss comes down. Cali Trolls not in a very happy place right now. More spells coming down. Dodges the bomb, but Heaven Time gives himself another kill here.
Yeah, there's a 1,200 gold lead already for LawPro.
Oh no. That is not where you want to be as teammate. Cali Trolls heads in 2 minutes in with 2 deaths in the top lane. Just got some potions, but that's it.
Just the gold across the board right now. Hanser, 400 gold up. Porpoisepop is going to try to make a play on Laud.
Only level 2 though. Laud does get stunned. No flash, but he has Heal Ignite his burn on top of that one. 100 health left on Ziggs.
Oh,
back on out.
We're in for a good game right now.
It's an aggressive game, guys.
Super aggressive right out the gate. Everybody looking for blood.
Heaven Time finally gets his own red buff. 3 minutes in. Had to take some time with that one. Porpoisepops actually wants to play a bit aggressive here. Nope, gonna go back towards his own red. Heaven Time now looks mid. Slushy does flash away successfully.
Ooh, all of these flashes and summoner spells being blown. This is a jungler's paradise.
Yeah.
You go for the gank, they don't have flash, you're like, all right, that's easy. If I just don't mess up my skill shot, or if Evelynn just runs straight at you, it's going to be pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's really on you to mess up that gank.
Yeah, and here's the thing, because those flashes got blown early, Heaventime's going to spend most of his life living in a jungler's paradise. Blue buff grabbed very easily. Loses the pink wards though, so hey, Porpoise Pops is removing those pinks pretty easily.
He's got a pink about once or twice in that jungler's paradise. But the fact that they bought all these wards very early on, and I think there's only 2 of them left on the map.
Yeah.
It's the top lane and the bottom lane ones. So granted, they'll have the vision of Evelynn, but it's a great first buy. And now Heaventime use the Jungler Paradise.
EQ, this is going to be good. Slooshy knocked back in. Heaventime just a plain and simple guy in the Jungler's Paradise. Easy kill against a no-flash mid laner.
Wow, so Heaventime ends up going there once, gets the flash, comes back, uses his own flash to close the distance and catch him completely off guard. The early warding from Team 8 is just non-existent. They're trinket wards, and they haven't been playing for those sides.
Oh man, so Team 8 just, unfortunately, the only lane that's going reasonably well is this bot lane. Maple Street and Dodo picking up the minion kills that they can, and they're holding okay. Problem is, the rest of their team is kind of dying around them. They're great moves again and again and again by Heaventime. 1-0 and 3. He is always where you want to be.
Well, here's the thing, too, is also Laud, 100% kill participation, 2-0-2. He's going to get level 6 by about the time that anybody wants to try and even do Dragon. So when that first Dragon comes out, you have this huge contribution available. And the fact you already have a 1.6k gold lead,
yeah,
you can just keep snowballing that further and further. Team 8, they have to make moves to get back into this game. You can't just sit on your hands.
Porpoise Pops wants to find something to do. He's going to run into a Jarvan right here. This is going to be a pretty dangerous fight. Their extra longsword is there. Does dodge the knockup. Porpoise Pops does not have flash for a short time, but a nice stun in from Syndra. Do they have the damage? Heaventime does go down. Slooshy gets the blue buff. Now Laud under fire. Porpoise Pops dodging everything that he can. He's trying to get away. One spell to go. Laud gets the kill back. Red buff onto Ziggs, but Cali Trolls will at least kill himself a pink ward. No, he's going to fight Hanser here. Good damage comes through. Really wants that ward, though. But he's got to be careful. He does have flash, I believe.
Yeah, he's about to
a lot of damage.
He has it now.
All right, Hanser's not going to chase.
It was so close to not being up. Hanser is very close to level 6 himself. But man, those are the types of moves that Team 8 needs to make. But then at the same time, get out alive with. It was a great idea to start that fight, and then Slooshy with the backup was what they'd wanted.
All right, guys. 1.5 thousand gold, really not a gigantic lead. Of course, it does mean quite a bit this early. But we'll see if this means too much for these guys. Chalice for the mid laner versus Double Doran's Ring.
Heaventime's just going to camp this bush thinking that Porpoise Pops will come by this avenue, and he'll see him with the pink ward and catch Porpoise Pops off guard. He's just sitting there for a while, and now he's impatient.
Checks a brush. Porpoise Pops with a pretty big level lead right now. About 5.5 to Heaventime's 4 and change. Not that Jarvan necessarily needs level 6 to be useful, but he is starting to get out-farmed for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's true. Another pink ward in the inventory for Heaventime, though. His job is pretty much just chasing down or keeping tabs on Porpoise Pops.
You know what's interesting is the theory of the Evelynn tax, right? You've got to buy a lot of pink wards when you face an Evelynn because she's invisible. This is... Did they really buy 5 pink wards after the first go?
I think they bought 4.
So 4, and they've rebought 1 or 2 more, right?
Yep.
So about, I mean, close to half this gold lead of Law Pro has already been spent and died.
And there's another one dying right now because Porpoise Pops found it.
So the gold lead maybe not as big as you might expect. Porpoise Pops doing what he can. Has his longsword. You can see actually his combat stats equal to Heaventime.
Yeah, there's 2 more there in terms of pink wards. Porpoise Pops, sorry, Heaventime and Laud both pick one up for themselves. Of course, Heaventime's been walking around with that one for a bit. But there's just so much of this gold used on consumables that they haven't really been capitalizing on yet.
Well, pink ward comes down. Jarvan knows he's safe in this brush. Level 5 on all of the bottom lane here. Slooshy gets himself a blue buff. 7 minutes 45 into the game. Looks like the same will happen for Laud Ziggs. And after the crazy hectic first 3 minutes, we have settled down a little bit here.
Yeah, that first dragon is something that is going to be very important coming into this. Because if Wall Pro ended up investing in some combat stats and they show up with those increased combat stats, it's going to dissuade teammate or they will win the fight off of it. But if teammate play it correctly before the dragon fight, we'll see what happens. Heaven Time doesn't check the bush. There it is now.
Checks Porpoise Pops now. He's got to be a little bit afraid of Evelyn and walks right away. You know what? I don't really want to fight you, but the mid lane's being pressured there. You can see that Slushie has pushed Lot out and is on the way up. He's pinged MIA. LOLpro, no to be afraid of this one. Smite not up for Heaven Time. Of course, teammate don't know that.
Callie's not following, though, is the thing. Callie is just sitting off in the top lane saying, Haunster's MIA, I don't know where he is, but I can't follow him.
He's not going to do that. Pink Ward got put back down in the top lane tri-brush as well. To spot maybe Evelyn moving around. Porpoise Pop's going to find, hey, that's a ward. I know you guys.
Another one bites the dust here. All these pink wards being picked up by teammate. Oh, Patoy's caught.
Big damage comes through. Low trying to block the damage, but actually the shield's in a bit of a bad spot there. Patoy losing plenty of health, though.
That's a big exchange, though.
Yeah.
These AD carries have not purchased any items yet. Neither of them have backed. It's a very influential lane that if you have a jungler come down bottom, you're forcing back. That might also force it back just right off itself with the exchange.
And that might mean a dragon for themselves. Porpoise Pop's actually going to look into this blue buff. We've barely seen Heaven Time get any control over the buffs there. A nice trinket ward over the wall, and Porpoise Pop's just goes for this one. Gets revealed by a minefield, but who cares? This will be a blue buff steal for Porpoise Pop's.
It's a really, really good one as well because it's going to be safe. They saw Heaven Time in the top lane, and also the bottom lane won and forced back Patoy. But here's the thing, he has a BF sword and he's showing up to this dragon. If this Tristana and Ziggs make it to this fight, they're gonna have way more combat stats.
And you gotta be careful that if your teammate, Dragon goes down, of course without Smite though, they gotta take their time in this one. And they've got a beeline it out there. It's gotta be dangerous. Dodo's gonna pop the ulti, but he's sure to die. The flash from Dodo, there's the Cataclysm. Ooh, if it weren't for that bomb, he just might have gotten out, but the Ziggs Q gets one back.
Hey, one for Dragon, 500 gold difference between teammate and LOLpro now.
Yeah.
Despite at one point, I think it was about 2K or even more.
Yeah, it was about 2K at one point. Porpoise Pop's got to be careful though. His friend's getting invaded on Porpoise, forced to run away. Q's not going to land. This should be the... Wow.
Secret Agent Lizard.
Secret Agent Lizard buff, man.
Jumped in front of him. Pink ward goes down.
No, they're going to be good. However, keep in mind, we talked about the different recall timings. Maple had to back after the dragon, giving Patoy a lot of time in the bot lane. That turret has lost a bunch of health here, plus that entire wave died to the turret.
Yeah, the back timing from LOLpro was forced, and then teammates was a little staggered because they had to do the dragon. And he actually backs before the completion of the Blade of the Ruin King. He has the tarts, but of course,
can't stay in lane against
still
BF sword
really
without
good.
items.
Exactly. You have to have something against BF sword, especially on Tristana.
And the cool thing about the build path for Ruin King on COG is you don't actually gain any more AD completing the item, and you get a decent amount of attack speed regardless, so you actually have acceptable stats without Vine coming through.
The pieces are really good, especially since the buff to daggers.
Yep. They're okay to sit on.
They feel meaty and good. Pick up. Dodo might go a little aggressive here, but Heaven Time
Low's going to look even more aggressive. Only Dodo gets hit by the knockup. Nice flash from Maple, and now Alistar stuck in the front lines without an ultimate. Big damage comes through. Exhausted to keep him safe. Nice knockback from Cali Trolls, but Maple goes aggressive by himself. That's going to force the back away from Patoy. The flag and drag from Heaven Time as well. They will stay safe. Porpoise Pop shows up as well.
They have to stay very safe here. Dodo is going to have to get some healing because here comes Slushie from the side and the bomb.
Well, bomb's going to clear the minion, but they're going to go for this one. Low getting locked up a little bit. Big burst comes out. Slushie goes in for Haunter, and Mundo is going to fall. Dodo with the ulti sets up another kill, and look at that. Team 8, all 5 members bot lane, getting control. They
got to clear this minion wave out and get one up to their turret if they want to leave. Laud is just blocking the exit. If they muscle through, they're going to get poked on their way out.
You got to be a little bit careful right now if you're Laud, though.
That was really good there by Cali Trolls to recognize he needs to zone while everybody else walks around.
Teammate finally breathing signs of life, up 600 gold. This turret's going to make it more like 1,400 here. And finally, teammate getting a good play this series.
Wow, they just went up 1,300 gold. They have swung the game by about 3,000 plus. Ridiculous play here from teammate. The first game didn't affect their mentality. They come back, they forfeited it. They didn't even play the game where let's learn more about our opponents. They're like, no, this game, we don't even want it to go any worse. We're going to close it out, come back, just reset, and do better. Have better calls, have better map rotations, and they did it. Cali Trolls TP'd first into that fight. That was really well played by him to force that issue and make plays even though they were points.
And Porpoise Pops keeps scaling up as well, despite a catastrophic early game. The dunk in on his Lucy just forces the flash. Out he goes. Summon a spell lost, but not much else. Hanser alone in the top lane, though, making some headway on this turret. This could go down.
Yeah, Mundo does a lot of damage to turrets with his masochism. He's actually going to get flanked around by Dodo. I don't know if they would actually have the damage to finish him off. They're going to try to get him out of the turret.
On the Hanser pops the ulti. Big damage comes out from Calitrolls. Ulti pops, but back into turret range. And Hanser goes the other way on this one.
Oh, he's going to get cut off. He has flash. Boop. He's going to use it.
All right. Well, that is still a flash burned, and ulti's traded. Not bad for Team 8.
He was forced to flash. If he had walked straight around, Slushie may have been able to cut him off in time. So it's the safer play, but he isn't going to have that cooldown available, and Calitrolls now does.
So equivalent trades, basically. Mid laner, top laner, both losing flashes on opposite sides. Heaven time. Gotta be a bit careful.
Oh.
No flash available and gets soloed out by Slushie.
Those are the types of ultimates that Slushie needed in game 1 early
Yeah.
on. He's getting them now in game 2, saying, you know what? I didn't have a great Syndra game, but I'm going to do it this game. And 3-1-1, completely a much better score than what he had previously. 100% kill participation for both mid laners.
And I feel like Team 8 is a team that works really well with the lead because they want to fight so often.
Yes.
Looks like Ziggs with the incomplete wave clear. Dodo gonna pop the ulti just to make sure. I don't know if he needed it, but at least it looked cool.
If they want to make any plays afterwards, it's actually a pretty good idea to not take that damage. We'll have to see what it does for him, but... Ooh. This top lane, though, it's not the type of lane that Calitrolls can bully. Calitrolls 0-2-1. A lot of the leverage of this game is going to be forced out by Slushie and his assassination potential, and then getting the Kog'Maw into the late game.
All right, late game Kog'Maw, what can you do? Actually went back and finished Zerk Greaves. Did not finish the Ruin King just yet. It probably was a slightly low on money recall for him, but a bit more mobility will help against Jarvan and co. And the fact that also he's going to have a Ruin King against just a magic resist item of Hanser.
They found it.
Means Kog does some damage. Well, they found it, but they didn't want it.
Yep. He actually doesn't have his ultimate right now, so Hanser's very vulnerable.
Wow, the flash body slam, the ulti's coming across, and look at that. They are keeping the Mundo down. This is good for Team 8.
Yeah, they knew that the ultimate wasn't available, and they take complete advantage of it. But Law Pro looking mid now.
That is an outer turret for an outer turret, but the kill, of course, actually, no. Not even top outer. Calitrolls, okay, yeah, there we go. Comes back in. He will kill this for himself, but this does mean that Law Pro are not done. We've complimented them for their very smart cross-map plays. They're very map-conscious. The rotations are good.
Speaking of
magic turrets.
Team 8 looking for Dragon. They set up for it. Calitrolls doesn't have his teleport available, and he's still pushing top.
But nor does Hanser right here, so a bit of a 4-on-4, but Hanser is on his way down. So Law Pro will have a little bit of time of 5v4 if they can make use of it.
Calitrolls, he's actually going to have his teleport available in about 5 seconds. It's very, very close. If they can get a ward down, they actually have wards behind them on Law Pro's side. So we'll have to see where he TPs in. They're going to go for this.
Low knockback.
He's going in. It is the back ward.
They're trying to go in the knockup, though, onto 3. The battle has begun. Porpoise Pops the front line. Devilman knockup for Heaven time. And down goes the Elise. Here comes Syndra from the side, though. Dodo 8 taking up so much damage, though. He will refuse to go down. Knocks Patoy out of the battle, and Slushie cannot knock down Hanser. That is a Mundo grabbing the kill, but they trade back onto the enemy jungler. Team 8 so far losing in this fight, though, and Calitrolls might be the next casualty, and he is. Look at that, 3 for 1 for Law Pro. And Dodo might make that 4.
Oh!
Yes, he is.
So close there, but at the same time, so far, the Dragon hasn't been started up just yet. The Hanser's going to go for it now.
I feel like he's a tanking Mundo, and they're going to get the one just fine. Patoy going to share tanking duties. Lon shows up as well. Who needs a jungler? You just need damage output. That will be Dragon claimed after a 4-1 fight. Law Pro back in the lead.
I actually want to look at that again and focus on where Calitrolls TP'd in, because he got zoned off for a very long time. He TP's in now, up above them, and he doesn't really contribute a lot. He comes in, and yeah, he's just trying to deal with the Braum. The Braum is just soaking his damage, and he's getting zoned off. His effective DPS right now is 0. He's doing nothing in this fight, when there's so much he could have contributed in terms of just getting on the right target. He had his flash there too, so he could have gotten into the meat of the fight, zoned off low to the side, Laud, and then gotten in to the rest of the team.
Yeah. He spent his entire damage output killing a support and trying to kill a jungler, only getting one of them.
Yeah, didn't kill the support at all. He got him pretty low. Corpus, though, back into the action.
And Hanser just on the chase. He had basically soloed Slushy last time, tanked the ult and didn't care. So despite taking a bunch of damage early, Hanser having just, again, great team fights on Mundo, and that is a scary thing.
Yeah, and he's going for that magic resistance, so he's going to be so tanky and so hard to take down. Somebody's going to have to get a Morellonomicon at some point to try and just whittle him down more effectively.
Well, the one good thing for Teammate is Maple finally has his Ruin King, and he's about to face Visage Warmogs. No armor, a lot of health. Great for Ruin King Kog'Maw. I feel like Maple can just be the guy if Teammate can peel for him. If they can knock back Heaven Time, if they can protect him against Laud, Slushy should be able to play, Slushy and Dodo should be able to play bodyguard here.
Yeah, if
Teammate could just switch gears if they want to.
If they just do zone control, they'll be good. But right now, LoLPro, they're going with a little bit of a bush trick here. They have a lot of pink wards.
Cali Troll's got to be real careful. Just immediately explodes, but Toy gets the kill credit. Already got the eye edge.
They do that so often.
Yep.
Actually, a lot of challenger teams are adopting that, where they'll just ward up with pinks around that Baron area, make it their little territory, and then they will catch you out as soon as you step foot even close to it.
Too many teams face check a Baron when you could just push a different lane and get something else for it, or get the earlier blue trinket like Batoy has. I like the choice. No yellow trinkets. I think the optimal end game trinket play in 4.12. LoLPro knocking down this Baron pretty quickly. Teammate wants to be part of this one, though, despite it being a 4-on-5. There's the engage from Dodo. A lot of knockups. Slushy goes in. That's going to be the kill onto Heaven Time so far. This fight has begun. Ziggs ult on the 2. Not too great yet, though. Hanser still chasing on a Porpoise Pops. Maple Street, his W is on cooldown now and tries to get some damage in. The Syndra ulti will claim the AD, and Lowe's got to be real careful. Picked up by Maple, who's now going in for Laud, knocked back by a satchel charge. But this is a fight that is being won by Teammate right here. Laud forced away.
Cali almost has his flash, and he's not going to go for it. Instead, they actually let Hanser get away.
Or will they? Random barrel.
Oh, he already used it. Oh.
Close. And he didn't know how close he was.
Nope.
So Cali Trolls, if you don't count his death earlier, that was a 3-2 fight for Teammate. They clearly do show signs of life. In fact, they are up 500 gold as a team. This is a much closer game than Game 1, let's be real. Oh,
let's be real. For all this game, that was an incredibly insane fight, just back and forth. Dodo comes up huge with the headbutt pulverize on 4 members.
Yeah.
They're taking Baron damage at the same time. He's just shredding them, too. So if they walk off with the magic damage increase, his Trample's going to get the best of that.
Oh, man, Trample's going to destroy people.
Yeah, it doesn't happen for very long. It falls off very quickly. But if he engages them while they're doing it, it's just so much extra damage from an Alistar, of all things.
Yeah, for an Alistar. So the way the Baron debuff works, by the way, if you don't know, is that basically a stacking debuff. What's the best way to think about it?
It's a flat damage.
It increases damage a flat amount for every tick of damage. Leandry's would destroy you, Trample would destroy you, like a Malzahar W or anything would destroy you.
Soil.
Yeah, Torment of Soil would eviscerate you. Gragas is actually one of the worst champions for using the Baron debuff. He's all about just a few discrete points of damage. But it's a flat increase after resist, so it's basically true damage, but only for magic damage sources.
Yep, and speaking magic damage sources, Dodo
gonna tank a lot of them, but he's popped the ulti, taking basically 2/3 less. TP's come in, massive knockback, the flash in, he wants Batoy, Calitro's gonna get it. 80 carry gone, the fight has begun, and Maple Street just got a field day now, chunking down people in the front lines. Hanser forced to run away, great knockup by Dodo, low force to run, big fight, 3-1 so far. Braum can't even ult, only Heaven Time left alive. He's trying to run away, but Teammate can do whatever they want in the map.
And that was the fight that Team 8 needed to get back into this game and just start accelerating themselves. They have Baron in their sights right now. They're going to start making a move for it and clearing out all of the vision of LoLPro.
Ooh, Heaven Time with the jukes in the jungle. Dodo can't find him. Oh.
Where are you at? Where are you at?
Oh.
Where's he gone?
Ah!
Oh.
Pulverize. And of course, Baron is dying the entire time right here. Heaven Time's trying to get the mana to EQ away from this. I don't know if he's going to get it.
Tank fight! Go get him!
Dodo's running at him. It's actually going rather slowly, though. Keep in mind, Headbutt Pulverize not quite going to land. Heaven Time still safe right now. The laugh from Dodo, why not?
If he chases him into Batoy, it's going to spell disaster. And if anybody dies in this Baron, they aren't going to. But if they needed Dodo there, it would have been hilarity.
Well, they're going to be okay, though. Dodo's going to walk away with the health bar. Heaven Time's going to go to his jungle, grab some wolves, get vengeance for this one. But that is a Baron now going to team 8. And they're clawing their way back in after the worst level 1 I've seen in a while.
But Dodo, actually, all game long, has been making plays like this, where he gets himself into a great situation. He forces Patoy's flash. Patoy still eats damage from the explosive cast, and Calitrolls just separates him off. Maple Street, good positioning this fight to be behind his tanky members. Dodo uses the pulverize perfectly all throughout this fight, and they set themselves up despite being behind in the very early game, coming back, then being behind again. I wish we had a gold graph for this game, because it would just look like a zigzag drawn by a 3rd grader.
It'd be a sine wave, basically.
Yeah.
Sine wave gold graph there, and honestly, Calitrolls, that Gragas really shut up that fight. He basically soloed Patoy, then he literally did solo Lod in that team fight. Removed the 2 big damage threats by himself as Gragas. The Lichbane Death Cap, man, it's scary, and it might, it's either Merlinamicon or DFG.
Oh,
it's going to be some more damage from Calitrolls.
I wouldn't put either of those past Calitrolls. They've been having actually a pretty easy time with Hanser, despite his tankiness.
Because Maple Street can kill him.
Oh yeah, Maple Street can just shred him. That's the thing, just keep Maple Street alive. 304 on that Kog'Maw, 10 CS up on the Tristana. He's doing really well this game, especially in comparison to his last game. You would not think this is the same teammate that we just saw 25 minutes ago.
I mean, literally 20 minutes ago. You saw the beginning of that game. Like,
that looks so
That was an extension of game 1. I was like, oh my god, how shadowed is team 8? But they bounced right back in.
And I love that about this team, because that's one of those games, if you were solo queue, you would have been like, GG.
Up, surrender at 20.
All right, everybody sit in fountain.
Yep.
No.
Oh, Slushie got the knockback. He flashed anyway, but that was still cool.
Slushie coming up with the E.
Didn't trust himself.
That's something you have to look for all game, too, because when you pick the Syndra and you think the J4's coming out, or you see it, that's your best way to avoid the gank. You see that coming, and then just use your Scatter of the Week.
Are you Thresh? Are you Janna?
Yeah.
Any one of those.
It's actually a little easier than those. Like, Janna, not so much, but Thresh, since the Flay has a travel time,
you gotta go
it
early.
has that back and forth, like back to front.
Yeah.
If you do it reverse, if you do it like in the opposite direction, they might get a little too close, etc.
Yeah.
But this one is just like point, click, did I get him? You can do it to LeBlanc distortion as well.
That's true. That's really hard, by the way, because it's so fast, the distortion. At least the Jarvan EQ's telegraphed. Like, there's a flag on me. I know what you're doing.
Yeah. It's like it's telegraphed, like giving you red flags.
It is a bright red flag that's going to jump on you. That's true. I think the only literal red flag in our game.
If it's Warring Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it's blue and yellow.
That's true. Massey and color scheme. Thankfully, it's Warring Kingdom's Jarvan.
Boom.
Got him.
Red and blue. Oh, who stole it? Maple Street stole it.
Maple Street stole it. Shameless. Big friggin' butterfly Kog'Maw.
Ooh, he's got a red pot for himself, the Fortitude Potion for those combat stats. This is something Maple Street does all the time. It's why he loves Lucian and just bullies. He's even going to buy a fort pot this early on Kog'Maw, where you were usually like, why not get a dagger? Why not get just more stats for myself? He's like, no, I want the damage,
all
HP,
in.
all in. End this game.
Would you say it's King Maple Street because he's Monarch Kog'Maw?
Yeah. Right now, I guess he's king of Maple Street.
Yes, he is. Oh, the engage on in. Knock back onto 2 of the tankiest members of LoL Pro. They don't care too much. Dodo. Dodo's going to zone away Lod.
Just out of the fight. None of the wave clear. If you keep the wave clear out, you get a little bit more damage. There they go.
Engage. They really want Slushie, and they just might get on the shields. Come in, though, at Heaven Time. Goes down first. Hanser takes the damage as well. This turret going to fall rather quickly, and of course, that engage did not succeed.
Heaven Time gets taken out, and Dodo pops his ultimate actually a little late. He was thinking he could tank up the turret, they could continue the engage, he just didn't have aggro of it yet. And he was off on the side zoning Lod, but now it's a 4-on-5 in the top lane for a very long time. And the fact that Maple Street has all this attack speed, he can start chunking this turret down very quickly.
And the Hanser ulti is down as well, meaning he cannot tank for very long. Low, gonna protect the turret a little bit, but really not a lot to be gained.
Calitrolls is actually split pushing middle because of this numbers advantage, and they're gonna try to catch people in transit.
Slushie's gonna stun the mid laner. Gonna keep himself safe there. Zig's ulti not up for a while. Dodo zoning out as well. This should be a turret kill.
Yeah, they delay the wave clear long enough so that they can get some damage down on this. Hanser pops his ultimate, and they're gonna go.
They've got to respect Heaven Time, though. Does he go in for anything here? Hanser up on the side. Low is there. Do they have the damage? Not going to find Mabel, but Dodo's going to be in the mix this one. Low health on the Alistar, but he will walk away just barely safely.
Oh,
the knockback on a Patoy flashes out. He stays safe. Low also alive. Hanser losing a lot of HP. Dodo does fall down. Low is going to keep Lod safe. That LO constant synergy.
That was
Philly turret going down.
Such a good Unbreakable, but here goes Heaven Time again. I don't know if that's good.
No, it's not. It's time for him to die. Slushi stays alive. Minions fall over. Lots of explosions this fight. Ultimately, a 2-for-1 and a turret for teammate.
Such an explosive game here. 15 to 15 in kills, despite LawPro starting off with so many right out of the gate. And that just drawn-out team fight was fantastic for teammate. You have this Kog'Maw who's constantly doing damage. He always had somebody to attack. If we watch just Maple Street's effective DPS this game, hitting Hanser, backing up a little bit. All right, hitting Heaven Time. All right, hitting Hanser. And he goes back and forth. So much damage the entire time. And now he's still just chucking things at Hanser. This tank, this frontliner, is going down very quickly, and he can't get his damage off as a response. That was so good, too, by Low.
Yeah.
That Unbreakable and that backup. He got in it mid. I think the first ball actually flew by him, and then he blocked the rest. It was pretty good.
That's pretty impressive. And honestly, we talked about what does teammate need to do to win game 2.
What?
Dodo plays Alistar. So I was literally going to say it's Dodo's Alistar. That's the big change right here. He is playing so well. We saw in the replay there, he buffered his Pulverize against Heaven Time's Flag and Drag, knocked him into the air so he couldn't reach the front line, or the back line, I should say. Headbutts like that are awesome. Man, Dodo's a really good Alistar. Yes. All I can say.
So ability buffering is actually really cool, but we'll talk about that later because there's a fight over this pink ward.
And it's going to be Heaven Time knocked into the air, knocked back into the team, and actually across the wall, though, maybe not where he wanted to be. Where teammate wanted him to be, I should say. Slushi on the blue elixir. Bit of damage to the Hanser. They're going to be okay, though. Orlanamacon did come through there for Cali Trolls.
Porpoise pops. Going to get in on the side, zone some people off, make them go the long way around.
Yeah, they have the inside track. This could be some turret damage. They actually want to go for it. Heaven Time in the wings. Hanser is around, throwing some cleavers. Doesn't mean much. Dodo 8 still there to zone people away.
And Kata. Oh,
gotta be a bit careful again. The knockback. These shields are on, but can they stay alive? A great pulverize. That's gonna be Patoy almost falling, but he jumps out just in time. Now Dodo's still up in the front. Great Ziggs forward. They've got to be careful. Ziggs does go down. Maple will die for it though. 1-for-1. Can they get much else?
He gets some minions for himself too, but they might get this turret off the back of it as well, and they will.
Wow. Hectic game. 16 to 16, teammate having to fight so hard, but every time they find a new turret to kill, and they are still making their way across the map.
Dodo, that's pretty much this game right now. Dodo's pulverizes, watch for them. His headbutts, watch for them, because they are so good, and he's ability buffering them, which means that the range on headbutt isn't that big. But if he uses it on Heaven Time, before Heaven Time uses an ability, as soon as he closes that distance and gets in range of the headbutt, it will fly at him. That's fantastic, because as soon as he flag and drags, he's out of there. Look at this. LawPro, desperation play here. 6K down, they feel the game slipping, and they're going to make a try for this Baron.
Low's trying to defend. Good knockback by Patoy. The barrels come out, not in time. That's going to be picked up by Heaven Time, but the fight has begun all the same. Patoy does not go down to Slushi. Never mind. Yes, he does. Lands one more Q. Now Hanser trying to run away, but he's running through the enemy team. 3 kills picked up for teammate. Despite the Baron, Dodo loses some health, but T8 could push right in for an inhibitor.
That might be the middle inhibitor. LawPro, they go for the desperation play. They still don't come out positive on it because they end up 7K down, and they're going to lose their inhibitor in response. This is just fantastic play by teammate. They TP in, they have Maple Street just come in eventually, and Dodo with the zone control all game long. Oh!
Well, not all game long anymore. He's going to be dead for about a minute, but the fight still continues. Porpoise pops low on health, gets exploded as well by Lod, who is 9, 2, and 8, by the way, but it's not quite enough. Looks like the inhibitor is going to be going down, and LawPro, again, the base in shambles.
Yeah, when you crack a base like that against the Ziggs, a lot of Ziggs' effectiveness just goes out the window, because he's super effective when you have a turret and wave clear. When you don't have a turret, there's super minions, and then he has to go clear that. And
Yeah.
it takes a little bit longer. But granted,
does.
super minions do take increased damage from magic sources, so it's not as bad, but still, it's a terrible situation to be in as Ziggs. He basically cut a lot of his effectiveness off. It's like taking a tier 1 against a Twisted Fate.
Right. And honestly, it's a Ziggs who relies on his area of effect multi-minion damage, and even though super minions die a bit faster, they still have that MR aura to the rest of the minions, so it is just gonna be harder for Lod. He'll be across the map for longer. He can't one-shot waves with the ulti anymore either. And then it's just a risk for the guy. You can see those melees lift.
Ugh.
Tough life for a Ziggs. Takes more than 2 spells to clear the wave.
Yeah, Rito should get right on that.
Hardships, man.
Just Team 8 and LOLPro back and forth all through this game. Last game, pretty much LOLPro in driver's seat from start to finish.
Yep.
Thought it was going to be the same way coming into this one. Nope.
This time they're carpooling.
Yep. Changed hands pretty quickly.
Road trip.
They're just... one of them gets
forth.
tired.
Yep.
The one they cross over, put on cruise control, and it's like, all right, I'm going to get into the passenger seat. Oh, God, why are we doing this?
I think they pull over the side for a little bit.
No, this game has no
This
pulling
game
over
has
the
no
side.
pulling over.
There are no brakes on this game. Except for right now.
Except for right now. Yeah, so it's like, actually, you know, they're just kind of gingerly walking across the map. They're just coasting.
Oh.
Who are in the finals, by the way.
Yeah. We'll see them tomorrow. Right now, though, teammate, LOLPro, teammate with this nice little line, diagonal, going through the jungle. If anybody tries to get vision,
Uh-oh.
they're going to try to capitalize on it.
Big Ice Shield says Low gets to get vision. Dodo makes that pink ward go extinct. And now top tier 2 is going to fall. Team 8 now 7 turret kills. 6,000 gold lead. They are looking very good in this mid-game. Cali Trolls' Gragas is awesome. And Maple Street's Kog'Maw is even better.
He might be very close to completing his Infinity Edge because Slushy just backed. So he could go clear, push out the bottom lane. It is going to be the IE from Maple Street, that 3-item spike for himself. Really, really big. Because now he doesn't just have those shred percent HP damages, he has flat damage. He gets the Patoy. He can do a lot.
He's got real crit now, and that is an important thing. 35% so far. PD should be coming up next. He knows his math. If he goes Last Whisper, Maple Street doesn't know math, just keep that in mind. There's one right choice here.
He's not Maple Street.
That's true. But he does have an 8 in his name, that's a number, so... You know, that counts for something, right?
For 8.
Yeah. Why not?
Ooh,
oh,
Slushy!
no! There's a jump on in. Slushy's got to be real careful. Gets knocked around, and the ulti goes into heaven time. There's a Ziggs bomb. Does a lot of damage. Slushy takes some heals and does stay
Slushy's not
alive,
dead.
but Haunter finally chases in, gets that one as the revenge kill.
Cali Trolls is on the backside of this fight.
Oh, this is going to be all kinds of risky.
Oh, he gets Patoy.
And he's going to get Patoy into the wall. Lichbane is on the knockback, but the body slam comes right back in, and now Lod has basically nowhere to go. That is a very dead Ziggs. 3-1 so far. Make that 4-1. Only Haunter alive. Team 8 can go right into the mid lane. Top also's got a wave.
There are 40 seconds on the big wave clears here for LOLPro. That was like a fat man slingshot. He got hit backwards, and then Cali Trolls just went straight back in with a body slam into Patoy. Perfect positioning there to flank around the fight, and that's what Cali Trolls does as the shot caller. He makes those calls and comes around, and they are going to start tearing this base apart.
And Team 8 do very well when ahead. You're seeing it here in these team fights, making the right plays and just going bloodthirsty all the way through. Inhibitor number 1 going down, number 2 going to fall as well. 10 seconds of the next respawn. It's 4 versus 2 inside the base, but this will be Team 8 backing off with a Dragon alive and a Baron in 1.5.
They have so much gold here, too, off of that fight. They now have a really solid lead of about 9,000. So when they back, they can contest objectives. They can set up for that Baron. They might give over the Dragon, but I don't know because their super minions just are pouring into the base now against LOLPro.
These guys are going to be stuck inside their base from LOLPro. It's going to give complete control over to Team 8. I think you take the Dragon here just because it's safe. You're guaranteed to get it. They still own ward coverage over the top jungle. They will see if LOLPro tries to get their own wards, which they are trying, but they can count them.
Right now, though, that base just completely in shambles, too. If they can count those wards, it is actually going to go over to Team 8. They're going to just go for this Dragon. LOLPro, they don't have a lot of options left. They have to just wave clear
Well,
and hope Toy gets in a good spot.
This is a team that turtled out a game for about over an hour. Good up by Lot. All right, gets the blue buff. But this is a team that have turtled out games before and rallied behind a 6-item AD carry to win a game in over an hour. They did that against Frank Fang Gaming in Summer Series 1. Maybe they can repeat that success here against Team 8. A 2-0 for LOLPro would keep their hopes of a first-round bye in the postseason alive, which would be very good of how strong the competition is right now. They could dodge denial in that 3rd versus 6th match and just go right into the semis if they can win this series.
Oh, Dodo, they're looking for a pick up top on Hanser.
Hanser gets knocked up into the air, and big damage comes through. Pulverize, and the headbutt now back across the other side of the map. Ulti in from Evelyn as well. They are really trying to chase him out, but I don't think they're going to get him.
He's so fast.
Hanser going to run away. Pulverize did not need to ult that, but they do have some time.
Calitrolls from the side.
Calitrolls knocks over Heaven Time. Can they get that kill? Nice knockup, nice Pulverize. Heaven Time going to take a huge burst of damage from the Syndra as well, but the knockback from low. The shields come in, and Heaven Time stays alive with about 10 health.
Oh, 17 HP. Getting out of there, just barely, so much use. But that's going to force him back, and Baron is up right now.
Well, that is enough for teammate. They don't need ults to kill Baron. In fact, most teams don't use ults when killing Baron.
I'm talking about the jungler not being there.
Yeah, and that's, well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, teammate burned a lot of ults to push them away.
Oh, yeah.
And then this way, they still have the ability to kill Baron really successfully. Not going to be able to contest. Lot could try for the cross-map ulti. Looks like he will not, though, in teammate with the smite. Not the smite. He's got smite on F, no wonder.
Well, the other guy didn't use smite on the Baron last time either.
It's different.
I'm going to fight you on this.
It's
fight
different.
me IRL.
Now, see, smite on D, you don't need to. Smite on F means you missed it. That's how it works.
that confirmation bias.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, Meteos said it was smite on D. The crowd online said it was smite on D.
Yeah. But how many of them are actually good junglers?
Meteos? I would say 100%.
I mean, I would say No Name's higher than him in the standings, and he puts smite on F.
Okay.
So.
How many MVPs does No Name have? How many records does he have compared to Meteos?
I don't know. He's still got a split to set some records.
That's fair.
He's got a couple days.
All right, now though, LOLPro stuck inside the base. Lucy's got to be a bit careful. Has to burn the flash, but now Heaven Time is really dead.
Yep. That's all that you can say about that one. He went in, his flash was down, and then he was completely capitalized on there, and that is the last thing you want. 45-second respawn timer here.
Yeah.
Inhibitors are starting to come back up for LOLPro, but they're just going to go straight back down again.
Well, it's going to be potentially the game right here. 35 seconds of no jungler. Team 8 do have to respect Ziggs a little bit, but there's really not much engage left. Double inhibitor respawn. Calitrol's got to be careful. Corvus Pops takes it slow and doesn't care too much.
Those ultimates are almost back up here. Calitrolls will have his here. They get themselves an inhibitor for free. Top lane, more super minions coming in, and the inhibitor.
All right, here we go. Minions and buildings going down. 5 kill lead. 5 turret lead, and teammate are inside the base. Heaven Time up in 5 seconds. There's another wave in the bot lane right here. This turret is taking a lot of damage. Going down pretty soon for Calitrolls. This will be 3 inhibitors very soon for teammate if they are not pushed away. Maple Street still healthy. The knockback from Dodo 8.
He keeps getting Heaven Time with that knockback. It's fantastic. His Alistar skills are crazy. This could be the final push of the game here for Team 8.
Stun on the low. LOLPro trying to hold their base alive. Good harass from Ziggs. Half HP for the backline of Team 8. The inhibitor down to half HP though. Minions are coming in now, the front and top lanes.
Dodo can soak so much damage. He's very tanky, and he also has his ultimate on top, and Calitrolls looking for the flank from the side.
Where they're going to go in. There's the flash engage onto Lod. Big damage comes through. Inhibitor has fallen, and the fight begins. Hanser very, very low, but no one has died just yet. Low getting pushed around, gets the shield. Patoy now in range, and there's the ulti in from Syndra. Maple Street claims the kill. They're going to get Jarvan on top of that one. Team 8 own everybody here. Slushie very low, but stays alive with shields and heals, and now on to the Nexus they go. It took 42 minutes, but Team 8 has done it. They have brought back Game 2. We're going to Game 3 here in the 3rd place match, guys. It's the fight that both teams are going to want to win. See if they can do it. A quick shutdown from Ziggs, but that's still going to be the game. Teammate, bring it back.
9-1 and 5 for Maple Street that game, and Dodo, phenomenal score line that doesn't reflect his performance.
Yeah.
He, from start to finish, was fantastic on that Alistar with the pulverizers, hitting more than one person pretty much every time, sometimes more than 3.
Yeah.
He was just ridiculous. They call him Alistar the Unchained. He was off the chain that game.
Yeah, 1-4-18. Great play by him. Mikhail's Crucible, the face of the mountain, right into Randuin's afterwards. The guy was tanky, and he was keeping his teammates alive, whether it was his shields, whether it was heals, or whether it was headbutts or pulverizes into the divers. Absolutely awesome Alistar game for Dodo Way. And now, something we talk about in series is you tunnel in on things that are working and things that aren't. Now, to teammates' credit, they stuck with things like Syndra that was failing a little bit. And to be honest, this time around, it looked awesome. So credits to Slushy for keeping that champion and doing a great job with it. The Cali Trolls Gragas, he's not going to get it. This was first picked in game 1. You can't rely on this anymore. The Alistar was awesome. The Kog'Maw was awesome. I think teammate have to look at these, tunnel in on those facets, and say, do we ban the right champions? Can we kind of get a similar comp again?
Yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult considering that performance that they just gave from behind at the start.
Yeah.
And I do, I'm just going to keep talking about Dodo for a second here because he was actually down in levels most of the time under low because he roamed around a lot and he was doing more with less. His ultimate wasn't rank 3 for the longest time. He was down in levels. He wasn't really accumulating a whole bunch of gold. Like he ended with just 2K more than low.
Yeah.
Which is actually a pretty big margin for supports considering you're getting so many more objectives than the enemy team who ends up losing the game.
Yeah.
So he made so many plays with so little resources, and it really just harkens back to the days when supports were just putting down wards and relying on base stats. And the buffs to Alistar, the fact that he didn't have his final rank of ultimate isn't actually that big a deal.
Nope.
It's 70% damage reduction all throughout. So I actually love that pick, and I love the state of Alistar right now, especially in Dodo's hands and the plays he was making with the headbutt.
Yeah, it looks absolutely great, and Dodo's been phenomenal on the champion. So then, LoL Pro, real quick, Lod Ziggs was still good. At one point, he was like 8-1 and 7 or 8-1 and 9. Ended up 10-4 and 9, so still a respectable scoreline, but he was the only guy putting up great performances. Heaven times Jarvan now went 2-10 and 14. A much worse game for him in game 2. It just seems like the repeated ganks couldn't pay off quite as well, which is weird. Like, the flashes were burned. They had ward coverage. It just didn't quite work out, so you got to figure out what LoL Pro's got to switch. We'll talk about that there after the commercial break. Guys, going to take one more quick break. When we return, it's going to be time for the decisive Game 3 between Team LoL Pro and Teammate. You're not going to want to miss it. It's the final one. He's not quite going to go down. The performance pops. 1 hit for being stunned. Is stunned. The damage still coming through. 1 hit from dead. In comes Hanser. Well, bomb's going to clear the minuet, but they're going to go for this one low. Getting locked up a little bit. Big burst comes out. Sushi goes in for Hanser, and Mundo is going to fall. Dodo with the ulti sets up another kill. His W is on cooldown now. It tries to get some damage in. The Syndra ulti will claim the AD, and Low's got to be real careful. Picked up by Maple. Maple Street just got a field day now, chunking down people to the front lines. Hanser forced run away. Great knockup by Dodo. Low forced to run. Big fight. 3-1 so far. Low getting pushed around. Gets the shield. Patoy now in range, and there's the ulti in from Maple Street claims the kill. They're going to get Jarvan on top of that one. Team 8 own everybody.